So, Mum, welcome to the Black and Raw podcast.
Thank you for having me, and finally I'm here.
Yeah, finally we've got you here. And this is a very special episode. This is my 100th episode, so I thought it'd be amazing to have the woman that has raised me here. We started this podcast with my dad, and now we're reaching a milestone with my mum. So,
that's great. Well done for your consistency and 100 episodes. That's really great. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's just get started into it, Mum. You've had a recent milestone recently.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's plenty of photos, plenty of videos. So do you want to tell people what your milestone was?
Yes, the big 5-0. I've just hit half a century. So I am so happy. Yeah, to have celebrated my birthday, and I'm celebrating for the year. So I'm continuing to celebrate. And I think when you reach 50, half a century, like it's a real big milestone, and I'm grateful for that. So yes, I'm happy.
So yeah, what was the day like? Because we arranged a party for you. We got someone to help us with that. And I think it was a really nice day, to be honest.
It was, yeah. It was a brilliant day. It was so. What I felt like the party was a room that represented so many different people from my life. So I couldn't invite everyone because there's so many different people who I've journeyed with, who are friends, family. But it had representations of all the different groups of people in my life who I do life with. And so it was a room filled with love. That's how I felt. I felt there was so much love for me and celebration, and it was just, everyone was just so happy, and the atmosphere was electric. It was great, the organization that you guys did, and Ishe, and all of the service providers. Like, it was just really, really good. It was seamless, and I really enjoyed myself. I didn't want the night to end, to be honest.
Yeah, they kicked us out way too early.
Yeah, it was at midnight. We should have stayed until like 4 a.m. I think
everybody else wanted to stay as well. By the looks of it, they had to, like, everyone was dancing on the dance floor, and they had to usher us out a little bit. So yeah, I thought it was a really good vibe, to be fair. It was a really nice time. And yeah, we had a great time at your 50th.
Yeah, thank you for organizing it for me.
No, it's okay.
And paying for it. I didn't pay anything, so that was nice.
Yeah, my bank account is still crying for me.
Oh, you just gotta make more bread. Get your bread up. You gotta get your bread up.
Yeah, and you had your sister come here for the first time.
Yeah.
In what, 20 years? Well, she's never came.
No, I've been here since 1998, right? 9, yeah. So that's how many years? We're in 2027 years. So yeah, my sister's never been here when I've been here. She came here before, but she's never been here. So that was really amazing, having her and my brother-in-law come, and they stayed with us for about 3 weeks. So that's been such a blessing and such a lovely time. And we just haven't been together in our adult years. So this has been really special. And that made my birthday even more special. That was a really special present in having them here. And even we were able to go to London on my actual birthday, which was the 4th of March. And I've always had on my bucket list that I wanted to stay at the Dorchester in London. And oh my gosh, that was such an amazing experience. And we got to share dinner with them there and had so much fun. So that was really nice as well.
I was going to say, I just saw photos. I didn't go to London.
You refused, yeah.
So, but yeah, it looked amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's been nice having your sister here, because we've always gone over there to Zimbabwe, so it's nice for her to be here.
Yeah.
And to sort of see a bit more of her personality, a bit more of her character. And uncle as well loves Liverpool and loves football, so it's been really nice to watch some games with him. We watched PSG lose, so that wasn't fun. But it's been good having them both here. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you get to know her. She's fun loving, and and it sounds like me, doesn't she? Yeah, sounds like me. We have the same laugh, same voice, so it's a bit spooky for the kids because they don't know who's talking. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I find, like, having my brother came here like just a year ago, so having spent most of my adult life living abroad in a different country, it's been a really it's a big sacrifice, and something that you don't realize how much you miss of your siblings and spending life with them and not really knowing each other, because for 27 years I've developed into a completely different woman, and my sister's developed and journeyed. There's big chunks of our life that we don't know. So yeah, it's nice that we've been able to spend this time together, because when we go to Zim, it's always really quick, isn't it? Yeah, because we're trying to juggle around and see
everybody.
Yeah.
I always say it's not really a holiday, to be honest. It's a business trip. So I guess you've been here for 27 years, which is a bit crazy. I can't imagine sort of being away from Tanaka or Tasha for that long. What have been some of the challenges that have been sort of being in the UK for that long and sort of immigrating here?
Yeah, immigration and migrating to a different country is challenging for most people. It's great because you get to, going on holiday, you always go back home, but living somewhere different is you have to start to have new support structures, new family. So there's a whole sense of belonging that's very different. So belonging, is something that I think I'll hold on to that word, because you are in a country where you don't, or it's not your birth country, so you don't belong. So legally, you've got to try and be allowed to stay. And then you also have to start to build around a new family, a new support structure. And in adulthood, trying to integrate yourself into other people, you don't always have just this sense of natural belonging. And when I go home, like back to Zimbabwe, I naturally just belong. I feel like, oh, this is home. Even at my parents' house, in my bedroom where I grew up, or the neighbors, people know me. They know that this is Mr. and Mrs. Mizzy's daughter. We've known her since she was a little girl. At church, everyone knows me. I belong to a family. I belong to a group of people. Whereas here, I feel like I've always had to try and belong, try and fit in, try and make new friends, try and even fit into the family, the Bvunzawabayas, because I got married and then came here. So I'm trying to fit into a new family, fit into a new country, a new society, find my place. So that's one of the things that I found to be really challenging in terms of your sense of identity, sort of like stripped away from you. And you have to get a sense of belonging. And those two things are really important for human beings, I think, because we're created to be creatures of relationship, or of being in a unit, family, friendships. So that's something that I found quite challenging, besides all the other challenges. But I think that sense of identity and that sense of belonging has always been something that's been challenging for me.
Yeah, and I think as children, you never really think about sort of how that is impacting you guys as parents, because everyone is always just absorbed in their own life and what's going on for them. And I imagine that was sort of really challenging and hard for you. It's quite an interesting dynamic when we went back to Zim in December, that I sort of I am Zimbabwean, but I've lived in England all my life. So I also feel very British as well.
Yes.
So going back, I say home, but it doesn't feel like home.
Yes.
Like when I come back to England, I come back to this nice cold. I say nice cold. It's not that nice, but I feel at home. But then also not, because it's at the end of the day, it's also England. It's also Britain. Britain has had complicated histories around the world, and especially with Zimbabwe. So you sort of have that feeling of England is my home, but how much do I claim it as my home? Zimbabwe is where I was born and where my identity is partly from, but that also doesn't feel like home.
Yeah. So it's that duality, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's the same for Like, so how you feel when you go to Zimbabwe? Imagine being told that you're going to have to live there.
Hey.
So, like, you now have
potholes and electricity failing on you, and listen, the sun and the food is great. Wi-Fi, no oh my gosh! But I could watch football, or we can watch football at 3 o'clock in Zimbabwe, which doesn't make sense. But there's some positives, but I don't know how I would. If someone told me that, I'd probably be like, I ain't going. I'm going anywhere.
Everything is here. Like, we are here, your family's here. So imagine for me at 22, I had to leave all of that and come to a cold country where you have because I came in October and it got dark at 3, 4, and I've come from sunshine and heat and come to cold, and I'm just displaced. So those are the challenges that we face as a 22-year-old. Coming into a foreign country, leaving my parents, leaving family, and also being a new mom, and being a wife and a daughter-in-law, and having all those expectations on you. But you're also going through your own turmoil and you're displaced. You're just not there. So I think, that's a challenge. But still, for me now, I've lived here almost all of my adult life. So going back, I've lived here more years than I've lived in Zimbabwe now. Yeah. So now when I go there, I can't wait to get back to England. So I just want to go back. I want to come into my house, my space. And strangely, I love the cold.
Oh my gosh.
When it feels like that, when I feel the cold on my face, I think, oh, that feels nice. Because sometimes the heat, it's just too much for me. I can't. So it's really, so we end up having 2 homes, because it's, home here is home, there is home, but I love both places, but I wish I could take the conveniences of England and bring them there, and just tone down the temperature a little bit and create my own little utopia.
You can't have everything. That would be nice, to be fair. Yeah, the conveniences of England in Zimbabwe, because all we need to do is bring the heat over to England, maybe, and
the people.
Yeah, the people do.
Yeah, and it's laid back and you rest. Yeah.
Yeah, Zimbabwe is good. Yeah, I think we had quite a good holiday, but we went back, and it was nice that we all went back, because I think you guys had been back.
Yeah, we meet together.
So that was really nice to see everybody and to see Gogo and to see the cousins, because like last time I went was like 10 years ago.
They were little.
Little babies, and like Ruda Diso was like 5 and she was adorable, and she was a chatterbox, and now she's just a 15-year-old who is a chatterbox. Like, she's still got those traits of her, but now she's like a fully fledged person.
She's a real person.
Like, she's, and she's just as cool as she was when she was 5. And I guess last time they saw me, I was 16. And now I'm 27. I don't know how I feel about 27, but we'll move on from that point. So I guess for you, Mum, how did you, like, you talked about some of those challenges about coming to a new country. How did you make it through those years? What was something that you held on to, or the support systems that were in place for you, or how did you navigate that?
I think for me, one of the key things I held on to was together with your dad, because we journeyed together. So we came here quite young together, and our relationship and the support that we had from each other was key. And we've always been and remain really good friends. And so we were able to see an adventure, a new season in our life, and start to build together, building a future that we envisage for ourselves, for our children. But also at the center of us is our faith. And so our faith has been a rock in terms of getting us through. So I'm a person who prays a lot, meditate on the word of God, use that as a guide for myself. When I face challenges, I go back into what the word of God says. I use those scriptures and apply them to my life and the situation that I'm facing right there. So I hold on to that, and that's been my source of strength, my source of wisdom, my source of guidance, and also then the building around us, the church family, Going to church has been something that's been constant, and building relationships in that church setting, forming friendships, forming another family as well around us. So that's been something that has kept us, that has helped us to keep us as a moral campus, but also in order for us to have resilience and to cope through the difficult times, because there have been many difficult times, but also remote support from my family, from my mom especially, and my sister, my brothers. I would always be phoning them and talking to them, and and my dad. I remember, my dad, always funny, but he always had a sense of humor, and even through the trials, he would come up with solutions. He would try and help me from Zimbabwe, and I would be telling him, "Oh, I'm struggling with this," and they would try and find solutions and research. And I don't know how they did it without AI and internet, but he would come and tell me things and say, "Oh, I found this out." And,
He was a scholar.
yeah, maybe you can do this. Why don't you try that? So it was a lot of support from them, and then the structures around. So those are the things that really helped me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I think you really do need those things. I think even if you had moved, if you had stayed in Zimbabwe, like, I think those are some of the things we just sort of need as humans, isn't it?
Yeah.
That connection, that community, and being able to rely on people and get advice as well, which I think is all amazing.
Yeah.
But I think you as well, you and Dad had also been that for others as well. Because I think you guys have both put into people, like I'll be in work and I'll meet random Zimbabweans that were like, "Do you remember me when you were younger?" And I was like, "No, not at all, sorry." And they're like, "Oh, I knew your mom," or they're like, "Oh, I knew your dad," or they're like, "Oh, your mom helped me with my immigration papers, 2006," and like it literally happened like yesterday. And like the guy was like, "Oh yeah, the office that was in Coventry," and I was like, "Yeah, in the train station." And I was like, "Yeah, we spent a lot of time in that office."
Oh, bless
and
you,
so
little troopers, really.
So you guys have made quite a lot of impact to yourselves as well. So I think that is amazing. That definitely is amazing.
Yeah.
Where do you think that came from in terms of you guys wanting to put back into the community?
I don't think it came. Well, our job. So, like for me as a solicitor, my job is to work with people. So, it sort of like was just an outworking. But I did have a desire to work with people from my own country of origin, from Zimbabwe. That's got benefits, and it's also got a lot of disadvantages. And I don't know if I would do the same.
How so? What do you mean? Whether you do?
I don't know. I found it really challenging to work with our own community. It's been rewarding in the people that we've been able to support and help. But even with our work, some of the people we haven't been able to get good outcomes. And it comes with a lot of good side, gratitude. And then it comes with a lot of hate and persecution. And it comes with a lot of trials. And I sometimes think, oh, well, if I was just a white, like a Caucasian white British solicitor, I wouldn't probably face the number of challenges that I face within working with my own community because of the expectation that they have. They have expectations of you that go over and above your role. And that's been something that's been a challenge. So as much as working within our community and impacting them has been great and had rewards, there's been a price to pay. We continue to see that, and sometimes we then try and distance ourselves and say, you know what, I don't need to do this, I don't want to do it, but you come back because you have this calling or this pull to try and help. You can't let people go through some of the things when you have the knowledge and you have the skills and you think, okay, I can help, I can show them how to get out of where they are. So like now, one of the things that we've done is broaden our work, because I have a desire to help migrants. And so it's really good that we've been able to come out and just help broader spectrum of just migrants, not just people from our own country, because I think I have a passion to use my knowledge and my education, my experience and my skills to help people to come out of poverty, to empower them, to build them up. And it's something that is inherent in my nature as a person, and also as a Christian. And also, I think just we have a passion about marriage because we struggled a lot in our marriage. And when we started to be equipped to help others and learn, it actually helped us. So in helping other couples, it's for us to stay on top of things for ourselves. So when we are helping others with communication, with conflict resolution, we constantly have to stay on top of it so that we can help them. And by coaching other couples and helping them, we help ourselves. So it actually giving to others, we've received far more because we've been able to grow as a couple, and our relationship has deepened. You know, we have a very good relationship, and it's funny how it's through giving to others, like being able to impact other people is then had a effect back on us in terms of enriching our relationship and helping us. So you giving to others. You, I always feel that it's a principle of sowing, and you reap, you sow. We as a family, we're incredibly blessed, and I think that blessing comes from giving, like, you know, what we've given of our time, given of our finances, given without even question a lot of times. But we then see the reward of that over time. And even just to have three children who are, you know, who are just amazing, lovely, wonderful, share. It's a real blessing, you know. So the troubles that we have with you guys are really minor, you know. So compared to so we see that that's a blessing that money can't buy. You know, it's when I say a blessing and we say we're incredibly blessed, I don't mean like material or financial. I mean just we're so blessed as a family. We, like when you said, oh, we had a really nice time going on holiday. We have the best time. The five of us like traveling together. It was such a good time. We have great times just playing cards, just sitting here and playing cards, or Articulate, or Monopoly, or Monopoly. No, it's dangerous. Too much competition. So in giving to others, we just receive. So things that are not, you can't quantify them.
So in terms of giving to people, and you know, I think that is really amazing what you guys have been able to do. And you know, we have seen sort of the fruits of that labor. Someone also made a comment to me yesterday that who's middle class.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Was that a work colleague?
Yeah, it was a work colleague.
Oh.
So you know why? Because there was somebody else that had spread a little rumor about me that apparently I had been to a private school. And I was like, I haven't been to a private school. And I was like, my siblings went to private school. And they were like, oh, I thought it was you. And I was like, no, it wasn't me. But then they were asking me a bit more questions about my life and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was interesting. But yeah, you guys have been able to give us quite an amazing life, to be fair. And yeah, I think we will always be eternally grateful for that. Even yesterday, you said, oh, you know, someone got a PhD, but you were like, oh, you've got a master's in terms of to me, and I was like, yeah, but I wouldn't have that master's without you guys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the person that I am today without you guys at all.
Yeah.
So
I think we've done quite a good job.
I think you've done a good job, to be fair. I think you've done a good job, and
against the odds.
Yeah. And I think as well, you know, you never really think about sort of the trauma that you guys have been through. You know, as a social worker, you know, we work with loads of parents and families where trauma is really impacting on their children, but also their daily experience. I feel like you guys have, you know, as you've been saying, you guys had your own challenges when you came to England and through your marriage. And, you know, I think as a kid, there were probably times I did see that, but you don't really always think of those.
Yeah.
But then also, like, you guys have been able to sort of come out the other side of that, and you're still growing, you're still learning.
Yeah.
But you haven't let that stop you from doing amazing things, from impacting people and, you know, providing us with a life that is great.
Well, yeah, that's amazing. And it's for us, I think for any parent, it's so rewarding to see your children growing, doing well, functioning as good members of society, productive members of society. And it's such a reward and such a blessing. And for us, we didn't know how to be parents. And with you, you were our experiment child.
Firstborn's always
Firstborn. You came when we were very young, and you traveled with us throughout England. You went to the worst schools, and we just would move. We moved with you so many times, and we were together going through the trenches and building together. And so it's amazing that you've turned out well without us having known how to do things perfectly, but just learning as we go, praying for you, messing up and realizing, oh, we've messed up, apologizing and learning as we go. So I think we've been able to give stability, we've been able to give a good base, but we've been learning through it. And I think that's the thing, that you learn, you fail, you get up, you keep going, and there's no perfect parent. We all get things wrong. There isn't any parent who gets it all right. But I think, we've made mistakes. We've got regrets. We've got things that we could have done better. But I think overall, you guys have all turned out as really good children who we are proud of. And, and not just that, I think one of the blessings that we have is that we can call you friends. We can, like, all of you we have such close relationships with all of you in such different ways. And we can sit with you and have a conversation, go on holiday. I don't think with any one of you we wouldn't be able to just spend time together. It's not, there's no strain. And that is something that as parents, it's not something that we should ever take for granted, having that relationship with your adult children. And someone said, if your adult children call you, I can't remember, Beatrice, the intentional parent, she said, if your adult children call you or want to spend time with you, count that as a success, because it's not something that happens to everyone. So yeah, I was waffling a bit.
No, you were.
I wasn't. But about private school, yeah, Tino didn't get to go to private school, but Tanaka and Tasha did. And that's because we learned that not all schools are good. Yeah, we learned, but it was too late. So we did try and send you for the entrance exam, and you didn't like it, and you didn't get in.
I don't think I was given enough prep time, to be honest.
You weren't. No, you were. We didn't know.
Yeah.
We just sent him for the test.
And I just sat there and I was like, I don't understand what
this
is like. This test, like, yeah, it's not for me, to be fair. But I think you guys course corrected. Like, you moved me to
Heart England. You got
which was a really good school. And Grace Academy. Like, I had a lot of fun there. To be fair, I made a lot of friends. I do remember on that day, I don't know if I told this story. Yeah, I did cry because we were doing if anyone's watching Malone, we're doing the play. I was the boxer Leroy. Had a great time, to be fair. But at the end of it, like, we all got in the little drama room and we were all just in tears. Like, we were like, oh, it's the last time we're gonna see you guys. Like, and then, like, on the way out, I was like to my mum and dad, why are you doing this to me?
And
like,
all the kids, everyone was looking at us like, you parents, why are you taking him?
So yeah, but if I had stayed in that school, like, I don't know where I'd be now, to be fair. And Heart of England, I made some good friends, and I think even like, I think in year 11, the head teacher sort of was like, right, I'm going to help and mentor you to make sure that you can do the best you can. And I don't know whether that would have happened at Grace Academy. We never know. But
never know.
There was really good. But I think even we say that Heart of England was good, and it was good. But I remember a teacher telling me once that I don't think you'll be able to do A levels. Like, you should go to college or something like that. Came out and told my mom and dad, African parents, you guys, they're like, you ain't doing that, man. That is not happening.
And the reason is, I think, because the college that were around, cause, for some people that's a good pathway, isn't it? Yeah. But the colleges that were around us then, even when you got into the car park, you would see drug dealers there. You would stunk of weed. Yeah. So we said we can't send him there. And so that we said no. that's not happening.
But yeah, then I ended up doing A-levels, and I had to do an extra year of it, but I still finished them, went to uni, and then went and did a master's as well. But exactly, you never know the sort of trajectory of your life. But
we've got a parallel journey that we think you would have taken, looking at your strengths and your character. Did we ever tell you?
No.
Yeah, so we said if Tino hadn't gone on this path, because you're a leader and you work well, we think you would have been like Ghost.
Ghost, I don't think in that one, to be honest.
We think you'd have been a leader of a gang. You'd have been a kingpin somewhere.
Kingpin, man. Guys, could you see me as a kingpin?
We think because he's got leadership qualities, he's charismatic. Yeah, people follow him. So we said, yeah, we think, that's why if there was a parallel universe, we always laugh about it with your dad and say, I wonder what would have become of him if he hadn't gone down this path.
But yeah, I think having you guys to be able to sort of guide me, and even though those days where I was like, oh, what are these guys doing? Like, I don't agree with this, or I think and there'll be days where they'll tell me things and I'll roll my eyes, but then I'll be like, actually, they're pretty right on that. And like, as a kid, you never really want to admit your parents are right, but like, there's a lot of times that they are. Sometimes they're wrong, don't get me wrong. And when they are, I love it, because you're like, yes, I'm finally right. But, these guys have a lot of wisdom, and they've been through life, We've talked about 50 years, like,
That's a long time.
I've only lived half of that.
Yeah.
And, for the first 5 years, I probably wasn't fully conscious anyway. So, there's a lot of wisdom in parents and in leaders and people that have lived life before you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember my mom tried to get you to read. Do you remember?
Oh my gosh.
And you cried. You cried. The Gogo was trying to make me read.
Absolutely.
And now he gobbles up books. Like my mom says, it's the same child.
Yeah, now I'm a bit more older, but I feel you gotta let people come to this when they're ready. You can't force something on a kid. I think it's because I also just didn't like comprehension, or I wasn't really good at comprehension. So like then reading was like,
yeah,
it's the last thing I want to do. But
because my mom's a teacher, so
yeah. So did you always know that you wanted to be a lawyer? Both of your parents were teachers.
Yes, I did. I've always known that I wanted to be, well, from about teenage years. Before that, I didn't know, but there's no other career that I ever thought I wanted to do. So yeah, that's the only career I've ever wanted to do, was to study law. And my initial inspiration for law, I've talked about this before, in my book. So I'm a published author.
You've got a few books, guys.
So I've written. Yeah, so I've written about my growing up years, that in my home there was domestic abuse. So there was physical violence, emotional abuse, my mom and dad. So I witnessed it a lot growing up, and that's what then shaped my motivation to be a lawyer, because the only motivation that I had was to go and rescue every victim of domestic violence, get them out of their houses, get them a divorce, set them up on their own. And that's what I used to say, that's what I want to do. I'd love to be able to help women. I really want to help them. So I think that shaped me. And I then just started to, and I always liked subjects like history, geography, English. I enjoyed the arts more than sciences. I didn't really like math and physics.
I don't like maths and physics. I like it.
Yeah. So I didn't like those subjects. And then when I was growing up, there were not many career paths. So if you were an arts person, you would do law or accounts or teaching. If you were a science person, you'd want to do medicine, engineering, or teaching or nursing. So it was very structured in terms of what pathways you had. So I didn't like numbers and maths, so accounts wasn't for me. I like talking, and law seemed to be better. Yeah.
And Dad loves maths.
Yeah.
He's very analytical.
We're polar opposites.
And I think you take traits from both parents, but I think I'm quite similar to you, Mum. And I think that's probably led to us butting heads at times, but not that much, to be honest. But yeah, I think you were very similar in that aspect, and I think you can sort of see in Tanaka and Tasha that they've also got little traits of sort of both parents. Tanaka's very analytical, very much like dad,
and he doesn't like multitasking.
Multitasking doesn't exist though, but we can.
Yeah, so Tanaka's very much like his dad, but it's strange that he's also quite compassionate.
Yeah,
like me. So his dad's not compassionate, but Tanaka has got an empathy side.
Bit of a softer side too.
Yeah.
And Tasha, what would you? I don't know. Tasha is obviously a bit of you and dad, but like, where would you put Tasha in? She has that quite compassionate. She's very good at quite a lot of things.
She takes a lot from me. From your dad, she looks like him. Like she looks like his sister. So Titich and Tasha and her look like twins. If you see them, you think that's her mom. So I think she took her physical features from her dad's side, and then the personality she took from me, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of
both. Yeah.
So yeah, no, which I think is really good, and like I'm now in social work as well. So sort of that similar. So working with people and wanting to sort of help people. I think it's really interesting that, you know, your experiences of growing up, you're like, right, I want to save everybody.
Yeah.
And sort of that savior complex.
Savior complex.
As that savior complex, like, I don't know, it's a positive, but also sometimes can be a negative.
Yeah.
How have you sort of come to terms with that in yourself, and you sort of...
Yeah, I've had to learn and grow. And realize as well that, you know, people have got agency over their own lives, and you can't save everybody. You can just try your best to do what you're supposed to be doing. I've learned over time to have more boundaries, because I think I didn't have any boundaries. I just wanted to help everyone. And I got burned because in my desire to save everybody, there was a time when I tried to save the wrong people or wrong person. We won't talk about that person.
You know my mom, you know what it is.
Then that really taught me that, hey, not everybody's good. And there's certain people that you need to steer clear of. And I've also learned to listen to that inner voice and that little unction. So I'll refuse like instructions from people now. I'll say, no, I can't act for you. If my spirit just says no, if I just feel, then I say no. You know, so I've got very clear boundaries now, and I can't save everyone, and not everyone is for me or is supposed to come through my life. So I'm now much more comfortable with that. I'm comfortable to stop and say I'm, you know, in many different areas. So I think I've grown in confidence, and I don't have that desire to save, to have that savior complex anymore. I just do what I can and leave the rest for those who are Christians to God. You know, so Jesus died once. I'm not Jesus. I don't need to be crucified. I'm not a savior. So I know that I'm not Jesus. Jesus died. Yeah.
So I guess, what have you learned throughout your 50 years of life? What are some of the lessons? Like, I'm sure there's loads of lessons. If you can think of maybe one or two, or just whatever sort of comes to your mind.
Hey, I've learned that I'm not for everybody. Like me, I'm not. The only thing that everyone likes is money. And I'm not money. And that's okay. You know, in life, you don't have to be loved or liked by everyone. But, you know, when I talked about belonging at the beginning, I've then tried to always belong and be liked and be accepted. And I ended up being a person with, like, people pleasing. I was trying to please people, trying over the top to be liked. And I've now come to realize that in life, not everyone is going to understand you. Not everyone's going to like you. People are going to find you the most annoying. That, like, if they see you, they think, oh, you know, and that's fine, because everyone's got an opinion. But I've learned that there's more people, like, if you were to, not even more, but there's certain people who appreciate you, who value you, who want you to be in their space, who would give anything to spend time with you, your children, your family. And I've learned that family is really important, and sometimes we neglect them. So I've learned to prioritize you guys now more in later life, than I did maybe when I was trying to build my career. So now I value the time that I have with you. And like I'm always saying to you, Tino, stay 1 minute, dude. I'm always saying, just stay and talk to me. Where are you going? So I value those moments when I spend with the people around me who I love. So I think my eyes have opened in terms of the important things in my life. So the rocks, like my brother wrote a LinkedIn post about, in your life you've got rocks, and then you've got stones, and then you've got pebbles, and you've got sand. Sometimes we fill our life with sand, which are things which are not important, rather than focusing on the rocks. And there's certain rocks in your life which are very important, and people. So I've learned to value people who value me. And I also know that this is something that I knew, but I've learned, and it's been reinforced recently at the couple vision retreat that we had, that I'm not that important. Sometimes we overvalue our sense of importance, and also that I'm going to die, because doc does that we're all gonna die, and I don't know when. And like when you're now 50, you're in a time when I think the time that we have on earth is so limited. I've lost some people, I've seen people die, and they're gone. Like, my father passed away, and that was for me a really life-defining moment in terms of valuing the people around me, spending time with them. If people don't value you or don't want you in their space, don't push it. Don't spend your time trying to force yourself in places where you're not wanted or not valued, and wanting just to be accepted and loved, and then starting to think, like I used to think, that I was unlovable, that there was something wrong with me because certain people didn't see or appreciate who I was. But now I don't need that validation anymore. I'm comfortable in who I am, comfortable in the fact that some people, it's okay. It's not that deep. It doesn't really matter, because there are those people who are would give anything, like to be with me or to spend time with me. They value me, they love me, they appreciate me. So that's what I focus on more, and focus on my health. So I've learned that our bodies are a temple. They're not there forever. I've had quite a few health challenges over the years and the last few years. So I've got to be more mindful about what I do with my body, and not just treat it like anything, like just eating anything, not exercising, not drinking enough water. I used to, Tasha said something to me. I said, oh, I'm very healthy. So she goes, no, you're not. You're always taking painkillers. And I think I used to normalize taking painkillers, because I always say, oh, I've got a headache. And my blood pressure has been so high, and I'm always having a headache, always taking painkillers, and just normalizing. That's not normal. That's not what a person's supposed to live like. You're not supposed to. And I'm not actually healthy, because, if I always have a headache, that's a sign. So I've learned to value my health, do the things that I can do to lengthen the days, whatever I can do, because our life, tomorrow is never guaranteed.
Yes, definitely.
Doc said to us that we could be sitting in this house and a plane falls down and crashes us all, and
we argued about what would that potential wars, and
everyone just goes. Yeah. So each day is a gift. So make it count. Each day is a gift. Live in the present. Live in the moment. Live with the people who you value and who love you, and love them back. And tell your children and tell people that you love them. Always be present. Like for a long time, I'll be scrolling on phones and not being present. But I've learned to be present in the moment. Get rid of the phones. Those are the things that I value now a lot more. So that's more than 3 lessons.
Welcome back. So we were just talking about the life lessons that you've learned throughout life, and not trying to be a people pleaser, understanding about your health, and trying to appreciate the things in life. I think I said earlier that we're quite alike, that I feel like that I'm quite a people pleaser. And I think it comes from the different experiences you have, because we've had very different experiences of life, and I in terms of where I think it came from for me is like moving to different places, moving to different schools, trying to fit in, but also trying to fit in terms of in England and being the young black boy. So I feel like I maybe just went along with things because I was like, oh, let me get these people to like me. You know, people always say, oh, Tino, you're really confident and stuff like that. And I think there are some things I'm confident in, but there's other things where people probably wouldn't expect me to not be confident in. So I think, yeah, like we all sort of have those sort of reflections. And even about our health, you know, I think there's a lot of habits that, you know, and I'll be honest, you learn from your parents, like, you know, and we're all trying to be a lot more health conscious as a family, and trying to be healthier, trying to exercise, trying to, you know, be fitter. So I think, you know, being able to do that, and being able to learn from your life and make those changes, you know, I think that's sort of where that growth comes in.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think, and I think, you know, me and Dad probably need to do a better job of getting you with us, and we're doing our exercises all together and figuring out how we do it as a family so that we can make those changes. I think we eat relatively healthy, like in terms of the meals that we have at home and stuff like that, in terms of what we cook. All our weaknesses are sweet stuff. We all
love sweet stuff.
Like,
yeah, but we're not buying sweet stuff anymore. We don't buy sweet stuff. Sometimes I have chocolate, but I can have loads of chocolate. I try not to. I'll have a Lenore. I'll have the whole box.
Yeah. There's no shame here, Mum. Like, I was talking to my coach today. I got a fitness coach for the beginning of the year. And I was telling him, like, yo, there's times where, like, I'll have, like, 3 cookies in one day. And then, like, the next day, I'll also have 3 cookies again. Like, and it's just, like, you just do it quickly. And you're just like, oh, like.
Why did I do? Why? Why
did I do
Why did I do that?
But I think it's good to hear in terms of that, the lessons you learn from life.
And I think as well from the food, sorry to cut you, but it's just, like what you said, that you learn it from us. And for me, my mom's a feeder. So even like now, her main concern is what are we eating? Who's eating? So like my nephew's going there, and I was on the phone to her just before we came. And she says, I'm so worried. Worried about. She says, what am I going to cook for him? Oh, what will he eat? What am I going to give him? So all of it is around. So we've always lived around the kitchen. Like in our house where I grew up, we were around the kitchen, around meals, and food became a source of, when you celebrate, you eat. When you're sad, you eat. So food became I'm an emotional eater. So I had to unlearn. I am unlearning, but I'm 50, and it's a real struggle for me. And I remember speaking to my cardiologist and said, okay, I'm going to sign up with nutrition so that I can be helped, so that my heart health can improve. And I need to be able to know how to eat well and what to do, and just learning. And I'm determined to learn because of the scare of my bad eating habits could kill me, and I won't see my grandchildren. The grandchildren, I love them before they're even here. I just love them.
You felt the pressure already, guys.
I can't wait to meet them. But I'm patient. Whenever they come, I'll be ready. So like for now, it's time for me to level up my fitness so that we can go for a walk together. So Tino, 35, whenever you're ready, my son. No pressure. Don't worry. I've got nieces and nephews for now, so I'm okay. So I've got Marker. Good. So yeah, so it's learned behavior, isn't it? I've learned to command on, and then we eat as well. And I think coming to England, we started to comfort eat a lot and have custard and cake because there wasn't much to look forward to. So it was like, it's cold, it's miserable. Let's have a nice pudding. So that ended up becoming a default mode of coping.
And I think that's sort of what, when we reflect on the things that your parents have been through, that as you're sharing, Gogo does emotionally. She's a feeder, and that was probably from being in a relationship that had domestic abuse. That's how she coped. Yeah, and then you saw that, and that's how you coped. Yeah, and I've seen that, and then that's how I've coped. Yeah. So like,
we've got to break that.
Yeah, we've got to break that cycle. But I think it's also about giving grace to your parents and grace to yourself as well, because they learn behaviors that will take time to change.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad at your parents because your parents have learned that from their parents and have had their own struggles. So it is just all about, you know, giving grace and how can we move forward? How can we make change to be able to help our future generations? Like, I don't want my kids to have to struggle with their way to
We know your kids,
themselves.
his kids are going to eat carrot sticks and...
No, well, they're going to be balanced. It's going to be balanced. I did say that at one point. But it's got to be balanced. I've got to learn that balance myself.
and then you teach them, get them to do personal time. That's great. Yeah, we'll do well with them.
We'll do better with them, definitely. And you know, whenever those children come, you know, I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, oh, I actually can't really wait to be a dad, but I can also wait to be a dad. But I'm excited to be a dad.
I think you'll be a really great dad. Whoever gets to be your wife and your children, they're really, really going to be such blessed people. Because I think you'll make a wonderful husband and you'll make a really great dad.
And I think that's from seeing you and Dad, you know, and you know, Dad has been, you know, he's been a great dad. You know, I couldn't ask for a better parent. I couldn't ask for a better mom. And I think seeing the model of you guys has really sort of helped me be like, yeah, I really want that for my life.
Yeah.
It's also a bit of a pressure at the same time because I'm like, oh, Mom and Dad have like been married for like 26 years. Like, I want to be married for that long.
You just need to get married first.
Yeah, I need to get married first. Before I even think that.
26 years.
Yeah. So, but I guess that's a bit of human nature, isn't it? You see something and you're like, oh my gosh.
Will I get there?
Will I ever get there? But you just want to take it one step at a time, don't you?
And you're my sister and her husband, they've been married for 30 years.
Wow, so you see.
Yeah. So you've got a good example. Yeah.
Which I think helps, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess whenever that does happen, I can go to these guys just like you were able to go to your mom and your dad and ask them for support and help and guidance. That I can go to you, or my wife can come to you and be like, Tino's pissing me off, like, you need to talk to your son, like, come on. And you know, I think you guys would be fair and balanced in that.
I'm looking forward to the next season in our lives when we start having other people coming into our family, because we've been 5 of us for so long. So having other people come into the core family, because we're more, of course, we're a wider family, but just like our family unit, and having new people come in, I think it's going to be very interesting and amazing. And sometimes I talk to myself.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, I talk to myself. So I was talking to my future daughter-in-law.
During COVID. COVID was a crazy time for everybody. Oh no, you're talking to a kid.
I was talking to my
future grandchild.
My grandchild came from the future to come and keep me company during lockdown. I think I went a bit crazy.
We all went a bit crazy.
Because I used to have a chair on the table for my grandchild to sit on. I said if COVID was just another story, guys. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it will be an exciting period in terms of whatever happens next, really.
Yeah.
And you know, like I really look forward to those times. You know, I remember I was talking to Taku the other day, and I was like, "Oh, are you still thinking about moving to Australia?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know," because I was like, I don't know if I would want to be that far away from my family, but then also at the same time, I would want you guys to be there for my grandchildren. And for them to have cousins that are around, like we grew up with our cousins, and we see them less now because that's just life. But like we're also trying to make more of an effort to see each other more. Yeah,
it's good to do.
So I wouldn't want my children to miss out on that either. So maybe not move as far. I just want sun, man. This is so hard. The sun's out today actually, so I should be grateful. But weather's been a bit rubbish this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to what those stages are. So I guess for the next 50 years of your life, what are you wanting to achieve, and where are you wanting to go?
So the next 50 years of my life are all about building systems that outlive me. So my focus is on the things that I've established in my life, is to then be able to pass the baton on to the next generation. So I'm intentionally writing. I'm writing a lot. I'm also intentionally training and also going on like leadership development training so that I can know how to do this. So I would love to leave a legacy that outlives me for generations. So my books will outlive me. My work will outlive me. But I would love to have other lawyers who are like me, like who are able to give that holistic support that we aim to give at Tulia, be able to influence policy, and have ethnic minority children who are second generation, third generation migrants who are able to have access into law. And so that's one of the things that's really important for me, to be able to pass the baton. I do work with women, mentoring women. So it's mentoring younger women in marriage, in building up their families. So the lessons that I've learned in my life, I would love to be able to pass on as many as I can, leave as many as I can. And I am writing profusely because I want to leave my mark on earth, that my great-great-great-great-grandchildren will say, oh, there was Gogo Rumbi, Gogo Rumbi Bvunzawabaya, and my great-great-grandmother, this is one of her books, and these are the lessons she taught us. So as much as I can, I'm building legacy, and that's something that I'm intentionally doing. So it's not so much of me doing a lot of frontline work and helping individuals, but it's more about building legacy. But also in the next 10 years of my life, as long as God gives me, I want to spend as much time as I can with my mom, because I know that she's not here forever. So I want to learn from her. I even wanted to help her to write a book so that she could leave lessons for us as well, because there's so many lessons that she has, and she hasn't documented anything. And I don't want our family history to go without anyone documenting it. So I want to be able to spend time with her, get lessons from her, then make them into like books and record stuff, because I love history, and I love our own history and our own narratives and writing. And that's something that I feel it's very important. And to look after myself, to rest, to do a lot of self-care, because over the last 50 years, I felt that I've always been working and working. And sometimes I feel trapped in that cycle, and I don't want to be in that cycle anymore. But the only person who can take me out of that cycle is me. And so it's intentionally doing that for myself and giving myself time to rest and loving myself more whilst I'm building a legacy. So the legacy building is not so much more about doing, but it's about what have I learned? How can I pass that on to the next generation? And how can I enjoy myself, to enjoy my life, and just enjoy it. And hopefully God will allow me to, to be able to impart into the future generation in my family and continue. I always say to your dad, like, I know Tanaka always says, I don't want to have kids. And he always says that. And I always cancel that and say, you will have children. And I say, I owe it to the late, my father-in-law. He entrusted me because he had only one son. I then had two sons for the family. And then my children, hopefully they'll have more. It will keep growing because the Bvunzawabaya name, like direct line of Peter Bvunzawabaya, it must grow. And so that's something that I take seriously. And I say, when I go to heaven, I'll tell him, hey, I did it.
I had two. Now look, they've got two, or they've got three, they've got three.
It's growing. Yeah. And of course, we have our daughters, Tasha, she will go and grow the clan where she's going as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
enough. And we used to have some other Bvunzawabayas as well.
Yes. We've got Tamuna, we've got Tanatsiwa, got Uncle Ibrahim, we've got all of them. I love the Bvunzawabayas. I think they're a lovely family.
Yeah, so I think that's really good in terms of for what you want to do for your next 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, we will give you grandchildren. It'll come sooner than you think.
Please, I don't want you to ever think I'm precious. No. I'm happy to wait.
You know what? You might not have to wait too long.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy to wait. I mean, I'm not putting anyone under pressure because I had children very young, and one of the things for me and Machada is that I'm 50, he's 52,
Yeah.
52, and we've got no school run. We had our kids young, so we are fit and well enough to be able to enjoy ourselves, to travel, to do things that we can enjoy because we're not too. So for us, it worked out. But maybe we would have had you guys old when we were older. But life's got no formula really. We did have you young. We made some mistakes, but we could have similarly had you older and still made mistakes. But for us, it's nice because we are free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard a quote that said everybody is doing life for the first time.
Yeah.
And it sounds so simple, but it's so profound because you're like, oh yeah, like no one really knows what they're doing. Everyone's just fumbling and figuring things out and making mistakes and having failures and having successes.
Yeah.
So no, Mum, it's been really good to have you on the podcast. I think we should maybe do a you and Dad's together, a little round table. I think that'd be interesting. I also want to get Sekiro Kazai out now and you because that stones analogy and the sand that's played the stone.
Yes. There's not a lot of wisdom.
Definitely. So maybe even him by himself, then him and Taku. We can make it. We can make it a little family affair.
Yeah.
I guess before we finish this podcast, Mom, if there was one thing that you would tell little Rumbi Bvunzawabaya,
Little Rumbi.
what would you tell her?
I would tell her little Rumbi. Little Rumbi. I would tell her that she is good enough. I would tell her that she is incredibly intelligent. That she is, that she can do anything that she sets her mind to, that she is unstoppable, that she should not even doubt herself, that if she thinks of something, she should just run with it. She should never doubt herself or try and fit into a box or think herself too small. And I would tell her that she shouldn't spend so much time on her insecurities and doubts and just worrying about nonsense, I would tell her that, I would really cheer her on, and tell her, and I wish that she would believe me, because sometimes when I speak into little people in that age, they don't believe it, but I would tell her that she is unstoppable, that she has got so much going for her, she is so intelligent, she should focus, go for gold, and not doubt in her ability, not doubt in her ideas, not doubt in who she is, that she is fearfully and wonderfully made. She is unique. She is special. She's not too much, that she isn't too much. She's fine just the way she is. And God knew her even before she was formed in her mother's womb, and he had a plan and a purpose for her. And that plan is to do well and to prosper.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Mum, thank you very much. Where can people find you? And your books as well? Right?
Yeah, so my books are on Amazon. There's Kicking Off the Heels, which I published this year, and then there's Girl in the Mirror, I published a few years ago, and then Planted, and I've also done some other books with other women. We've co-authored, I think, about 5 books, but they can be found on Amazon, on my website, rumbibvunzawabaya.uk. I also blog and write. You can follow me, please, on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram. On Instagram, I post funny things like my lifestyle type of things. So Instagram, LinkedIn for more serious things.
Yeah, so
Rumbi Bvunzawabaya, you'll put all the links.
Yeah, I'll put all the links so you guys are sorted.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mum.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy I finally got on the Snack and Roll podcast. Yay! Finally. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That was fun. I got to draw.